but that contributes actually to a very small part of energy. The concern is industry manufactured trans fatty acids, which is a larger part. Basically, Vanaspati was one of the big sources in the country. We moved from Vanaspati over a period of time to the content of trans fat from Vanaspati. Yadav Saab said, we talked about the Vanaspati industry. There was a time when Vanaspati had about 40%. That has gradually, with a very active and I must say enthusiastic participation of the industry, it's come down significantly, and I think with huge amount of handholding from Kamal Agarwalji, over a period of time, we have made substantial progress to come down to currently some 5%, and then to reach a 2% limit for fat and oil in the trans fat and fat and oil. And again, the industry is totally on board and they're contributing to that. Education is being done, and even all bakeries who make biscuits, etc., are now being certificated. So again, that progress is substantive. And you heard the chef's response to the need for traditional foods and going back to our traditional way of cooking. So I think that is a general gist of the comments which we have in the last 15, 20 minutes. Maybe I can now request.
Thank you, Dr. Nitin. First, I welcome despite your extremely busy schedule that you could make it here today. I would take this opportunity of the Honorable Minister that making dietary changes is perhaps a very difficult task. And since diets have a lot of implications on public health, on how people live. So we are engaged in this activity to provide healthy dietary options to our people. And one of the several areas in which we are working, that the food authority is working is in the area of trans fat, eliminating industrial trans fat from our diets. And I would like to place on record that over the last few years, the progress that India has made in this regard has been extremely good. I think we can say that India is a global leader in elimination of industrial trans fat. This would not have been possible without extremely, forthcoming support from the industry, and particularly the edible oil manufacturers. Of course, they had certain reservations, but they invested in technology, they upgraded their equipment facilities, and I think we are moving towards complete elimination of industrial trans fat at source in the edible oil, in the vegetable oil, a year ahead of the WHO target of 2023. What we have done is that when India attains 75 years of its independence, so we said that India at 75, freedom from trans fat. So that is the slogan, and we must place on record very deep appreciation for the industry for making it happen. We are very much on the path to achieve that. Secondly, as we are eliminating trans fats from the edible oils, you see that it does not, the food we consume and the other oils, they are also covered under the same regulations. And we have to ensure that it actually gets implemented. And there, the story is not so happy. There are still concerns. I think that is where the chef community is very, very important. I think in several cases, product reformulation has to happen. New recipes have to be, put together by a chef and by our entire community, so that we can completely eliminate industrial trans fat from our lives. I think it is in this context I would like to place on record the support that we have received and that in industrial trans fat. Like study on organization and of culinary
we want to really this happen.
Respected Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Harshvardhan, Mr. Agarwal, and distinguished guests on the stage. The chefs are very happy to have in our biannual conference every 2 years, and if not on behalf of all the chefs of India, we welcome you. We just feel responsible for the nation's health, being in the front, the art of putting the food. We are looking make food and feed people the right thing.
हाँ रुको
And for the event of our
हेलो काम का कर अलग
So, we like and expectations, especially from. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, pleasure to welcome our guest of honor, Honorable Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Slogan. I take this opportunity to welcome Sir FSI, the Medical, Public Health, Nutrition and Community. It is honor to have you today community in a coming goal of trans fat-free India. Commitment to elimination of trans fat from Indian food system. In our next event session, we all heard about trans fats, and in our next event, we're going to talk about the trans fat-free logo. The logo is user going to release this by the food establishment which uses free fats and oils and do not have industrial trans fat more than 0.2 grams per 100 grams of food, FSSAI regulation of 2008 and display trans fat logo in their and on their food products. The use of logo is so open. So, thank you so much, sir. Trans fat is a technical term. Many of us, specifically the general public, is unaware about. FSSAI, one easier to understand. Further, there is a 5-point manifesto for chefs to achieve along with a list of activities to be adopted by IFCA stakeholders. May I request Honorable Minister Sir to Manjeet Gill. Chefs forward to the respective state chapters. Thank you, sir. Next is the sticker for food. It is a declaration sticker developed for food establishment who have transfat-free products as per the specification. They can display it for public. Understanding the health risk of trans fat, our chef community has come forward to fight this toxin out of our supply. May I now invite Chef Manjeet Gill and Chef Rajan to read out a pledge on behalf of chef community. May I request chefs in the audience also to kindly stand and show their commitment towards this pledge.
Please everyone and keep your hands straight to pledge to make India trans fat free. You all will repeat after me. Recognize the importance of healthy and safe food products. We, the chefs of community, commit to work towards achieving freedom from trans fat by the 75th year of India independence. By 2022, we commit and encourage the use of healthier fats and oils. Use fats and oil with less than 2% trans fat. Reformulate and create a pool of recipes. Promote trans fat free foods. Create awareness among consumers on ways to avoid trans fat in their diet. Educate upcoming chefs on the ill effects of trans fats and their substitutes. We are committed to this.
Thank you so much. May I now request Chef Manjeet Gill and Chef Rajan to sign on the pledge board on the stage. And this board will be kept outside for all chefs in the audience to sign and show their commitment towards eliminating trans fats. Sir, while the chefs have taken their pledge today, some of our chefs have already started working on this cause. We take this opportunity to honor and recognize their commitment towards this cause and making India a healthier nation. May I now request Honorable Minister Sir to treat pin to chefs. First, Chef Manjeet Gill, Founder, Director, IFCA. Okay. Dr. Chef Soundararajan, Founder, General Secretary, IFCA. He will be followed by Chef V. Vijay Bhaskar, Vice President, IFCA. Chef Madhusudan Gupta, Treasurer, IFCA. And Chef Rakesh Sethi. I request all the chefs to be on the stage for the launch of Green Purple Chef, and I invite Dr. Pashpati on the stage as well. Thank you all. The bakery industry has a crucial role to play in eliminating trans fat. Understanding the harmful effects of trans fat, some bakeries have already started selling trans fat-free products, while others have started taking steps towards their elimination by adopting healthier baking practices. FCI recognizes such efforts. Their commitment, we may request our Chief Honorable Union Minister of Health to present them with a felicitation certification. I'm going to invite all the online one by one. The first in line are ITC Mughal, Agra, followed by, I'm going to read out the names, please come on the stage, Grand GRT Hotels, Chennai, ITC Grand Bharat Gurugram, Defense Baker, Alma Bakery and Cake, B Bakers, Baker's Stock, Fungus on Fire Bakery, Mrs. Bector Food Private Limited, MSMG Bakers Private Limited, that is Miss Bakers. One by one. May I just have ITC model on Agra on the seat first? Grand GRT Hotels, Chennai. ITC Grand Bharat Gurugram. Defense Bakery. Alma Bakery and Cake. Alma Bakery and Cake. B Bakers. Bakery Stock, Baker's Stock. Hunger on Fire, Bakery. Mrs. Bector's Food Specialty Limited. Mrs. Bector's is not good? Okay. MG Bakers Private Limited. Mrs. Bector. Further, there are 2 hygiene rating certificates for Greenhouse Barbecue Chennai and Jubilant Foods Puducherry. Thank you, sir. May I now invite CEO FSSL, Shri Pawan Kumar Agarwal, sir, to formally welcome our chief guest.
Thank you, Rupa. I think we have already welcomed the Honorable Minister, amongst us. So I think without taking much time, I'll now request the Honorable Minister to guide us and bless us with his kind words. Sir. Dignitaries on the dais, Shri Pawan Agrawal ji, CEO FSSAI, Chef Manjeet Gill ji, Chef Mr. Soundarajan, Padam Shri Dr. Nikhil Tandon, Mr. Rajkumar, Mr. Yadav, all the other distinguished dignitaries and honorable chefs from all the parts of the country and abroad. Well, when Mr. Soundarajan was presenting me with this felicitation or award or memento, he said, you have come for the first time. So, I have not come for the first time, you have invited me for the first time. I am in public life for over 25 years now. I have won 7 elections till now, 7 out of 7. And I started my public life being the Health Minister of Delhi. And this is the second time when I have become Union Health Minister. So you never thought it important to involve the Health Minister of the country or the capital of India. But there, down there, I see it's written, I am proud to be a chef, but I can probably say that I am proud with chefs. And I don't say that just because I have come to your function. I really mean it. And I say that from my heart. Because I have been to hundreds and thousands of different types of functions at national and international level all over the world and in all parts of the country for multiple reasons. And within health, area also for multiple types of subjects, multiple types of meetings, multiple types of congress on diverse issues. But I can say with utmost sincerity and honesty that nothing has given me more pleasure and satisfaction than being with you in this meeting for such an important subject of public interest. And it's really beyond my vocabularies and my linguistic abilities to describe the sense of pleasure that I derived today in this function. When you are all taking this pledge just now, all the members of the Indian Federation of Preliminary Associations and of course our international guests and participants in this 8th international conference of yours, I was reminded of a function which I had attended in 2017. And the function was my own party headquarters. And the Prime Minister of India, that was 2017, some 2 years back. And he was delivering his speech. While delivering his speech, the Prime Minister, please imagine for a moment that it was 1942 today and the whole country was in a different mood. Everybody's heart and soul was motivated with the spirit of Quit India movement. And 5 years later, in 1947, India got independence. So today in 2017, I want to place before you my own dream of delivering a new Indian, every Indian by 2022. And just like people pledged for a Quit India movement in 1942, I want you to pledge for a new India 5 years later in 2022. I want to bring back smiles on everybody's face. I want to be a party to the alleviation of the sufferings of every Indian. I want every child to grow in a perfect manner. I want every child to be thoroughly educated with exact parameters. He should have adequate nutrition, he should have adequate calories, and we should have a new India where people are committed for values, people are committed for integrity, honesty, sincerity, and where people strongly believe in the power of humanism and nationalism. And all of you, each and every Indian, to become a part of my dream. And when you are just pledging here, even if you are not following all these rules, I know that it is not so simple for anybody in the system or outside to either punish you or put you behind bars. That is not reality. But this is the sense of sincerity and your honesty and your commitment for values that makes you feel so that you are pledging at a public function. You are pledging from the depth of your heart and soul. And you are talking about what? you are talking about ensuring that we are fulfilling the international commitment that we have made to the whole world, to the World Health Organization. At least 1 year in advance, we are talking about doing it by 2022. Trans fat, not from lives, but you are thinking about others. You are trying to plan a strategy, aggressive strategy to ensure that no one in this country is ultimately, you can say, deprived of good health. He is subjected to the suffering from trans fat. I know as a doctor what is the meaning of the menace of non-communicable diseases, how much the country is spending to actually treat people who are affected by the menace of non-communicable diseases, whether it is the common disease, whether it is diabetes. We have an expert of diabetes sitting here right on the stage. You must have heard his learned views also, whether it is cancers or better, so many diseases. And if people like you, who are in such an important position, I don't think there could be anybody else who holds an important portfolio in the country than all of you, because you are actually responsible. You are in fact professionally capable, and you have the knowledge, you have the will, you have the facility to actually help you. Small input from your side, with a small application of mind and sincerity from your side, you are going to deliver a human service to the humanity. You are going to take care of the health of millions of people in this country. And when somebody does good things at the top, it sends a very strong and powerful message for the rest of the people in the country to follow. It is not that only these 1,000 people who are part of this audience are going to take this message, but this message is going to travel wide and far at a very, very fast pace. That for the first time in an international conference of chefs, what was being discussed? It was about the ill effects of trans fats. It was about a pledge. It was about a green or purple certificate. It was about a logo. It was a discussion about how people's health going to be adversely affected. And what is that small contribution that we can make? So this is a very, very important movement for India. And when I say that this is an important movement for India, I really mean exactly what I have said. It's not a routine, usual meeting where somebody will come and somebody will go, somebody will talk about something and everybody will forget later on. When you will follow it up with action, it will mean a lot to the whole country. And that is why when we have pledged that we want to deliver health for all to every Indian in the new India of the dreams of our Prime Minister, we really mean it. And we want to ensure that every factor that matters for health must be taken care of in the right strict and in the right perfect manner. That is why you have seen a large number of health initiatives. You have seen the passion of the Prime Minister of India, who has given the most powerful and the most ambitious and the most passionate Ayushman Bharat program for the whole country, where in a country as big as having 1.35 billion people, we are going to ensure that at least to have a modest beginning, at least 550 million of them, at least 55 crores of them will have access to the best possible tertiary care services of health in the best possible state-of-the-art hospitals at any place in the country, wherever they fall ill, irrespective of wherever they have got their birth or wherever they have got their place of birth. But there is a blessing of the government supporting them in their bad times, and already you have seen that the program has ensured that at least 5 million, 50 lakh people, they have already benefited from the scheme. Nobody ever thought of such a massive help for the poor people of this country. Nobody ever thought that we will produce 1.5 lakh health and wellness centers all over the country, in the remotest part of the country, to ensure that we provide not only the curative services but also the preventive and the positive health and the promotive health services to every poor person. For every person who attains the age of 30, we subject him to an early diagnosis of hypertension or diabetes or for cancers of the various prevalent types, etc., etc. We provide every child with a vaccine. We ensure that we actively and that is why the first time in a country which was ridden with problems related to malnutrition and problems because of bad nutrition, problems because of undernutrition, problems because people didn't even have an average caloric intake which was necessary. Most of the people didn't have even that. And in a country where because of the eating habits, because of the lack of right type of education and information and things like that, people were suffering. The Prime Minister of India thought of a Poshan Abhiyan. He spoke about a Poshan mission. And the current period is one of those periods where there is an active Poshan Abhiyan going on in the country. Last month itself, in the presence of the Regional Director of the World Health Organization, in the presence of all the health ministers of the Southeast Asian countries, India took the lead and pledged and enthusiastically launched the Eat Right India campaign for the first time in this country. And there are so many facets of it. FSSAI is working in virtually every field is being supported and is being you can say the presence of the state also speaks volumes about the commitment of this government. So because health is a subject which is so dear to me. I have spent all my life working for the field of health. Almost it is since the time I entered medical college, it's over 4 or 5 decades now. I have been health minister in Delhi. I am still union health minister. I have worked with the World Health Organization for over a decade with all the medical associations and all related people who work and are committed for the field of health. And to this, that great list of people who work for the field of health. And I fondly remember when 25 years back, I was blessed by the God to dream about a polio-free India. And we started working on it. We had the support of over 400 organizations in the city of Delhi itself, which produced a successful pollution campaign on 2nd of October 1994. 2 days back, we celebrated the silver jubilee of that 2nd of October 1994. And 25 years, I have seen hundreds and I would say thousands of volunteers and organizations who are so committed and who are so desperately passionate to see that day when we are able to actually deliver the health for all. For the country, we are able to successfully create an example which can be emulated by the whole world. The country looks towards India with great hope because we have a very powerful DNA. Our forefathers have taught us the right things, it is only that we have probably forgotten them. The time is right for remembering all of it, and you have seen with great, I would say, enthusiasm, we saw how the Prime Minister and his actions were watched, whether it was United Nations or whether it was the American soil. Everywhere, the country is looking towards India with great hope. The whole world is looking towards us with great hope. And I am going back today from this function with a lot of confidence, because now I have the strength and the backing of the chefs of India and the chefs of the international community also supporting this movement. And once you have pledged, I am sure that in the years to come, we will start seeing a significant decline in the incidence of a number of diseases, and more particularly the non-communicable diseases of. And I don't think there could be anyone happier than the Health Minister of India after this function. So once again, I wish all of you my sincere most gratitude. Thank you so much. I really, I don't have the exact words to really be able to thank you, but I know that by thanking you, it may be like belittling your contribution, because you are doing it as a part of your moral duty. You are doing it as your service to the country, to the service of humanity, as a service to the people. And I am sure this day, this is 4th of October 2019, it should go down in the history of India as a very, very important day. Bharat Mata Ki Jai.
Your words of wisdom and encouragement, with time, transferred elimination as an important movement towards reaching health for all in India. The FSCCI has created a 30-second video on transferred elimination. Can you have the video, please?
If we go back to what caused this heart attack, you have the toxic fat that kills over 500,000 people a year by making deadly cholesterol block your arteries. It's called trans fat, an industrially modified oil common in the baked, packaged and fried foods we eat every day. Eliminating trans fat won't change the taste or cost of food, so let's make India's future trans fat free.